Welcome to my next timer tutorial. It's a multiple part tutorial on how to make a turret. But in this tutorial we are going to learn how to make the bottom bowl for the turret. By cutting to an angle, this will make a perfect circle. And you can stick around for just this, or you can watch the whole tutorial and learn how to make a turret. But to start off, make a segment, a world brush, about 20 tall by 55 long. So get us about the right size that we want. And now take this and cut out kind of like a rounded shape. You don't want something too fancy because we don't want it to hog resources. But if you want to go all out on it, go ahead and do that. I don't want to. And the easiest way to do that is to cut one side off, then divide it into two, and then start on the bottom. Kind of go up little by little. Or you can do any shape you want. I'm just doing kind of like a bowl. Then after you have your desired shape, group it. We're going to be moving it around a lot. Now if you can, put the front on a grid line, hold down shift and drag it to right in front. This copies it. So now you should have something kind of like this, side by side. So select them both now. And if you have them on a grid line like I do, where the end of one piece is on the grid line and the other end is on the grid line, select both pieces, hit Control M, and on the Z you want to do 10. Now if you notice, it rotated them a little bit. It's what we wanted. Now select your outside piece and grab your clipping tool, and on the grid line cut part of it out. So now you should have something like this where it's snapped off a little bit. So now go back to Control M and put -10. Now here's one little thing. Drag it off and drag it back on the grid line. This kind of tricks Hammer Editor into doing what we want it to do. So now bring up Control M again, -10 degrees. This will rotate it the other way. And then cut it again. And then rotate it 10 degrees, so it's back like this. And then drag it off the grid line, back on the grid line. So now if you notice, we have like a pie-shaped thing. It's what we want. So now select both pieces of it. And now hold shift, drag off, and put it back on top, the exact same piece. So hit Control M again, and now go to Z and 20. We have to double it so that way it'll fit perfectly. So now you'll have two pieces that fit perfectly together. So you just keep dragging the original piece, the flat piece, and then you add 20 onto the Z value each time. So the second piece would be 40, and then 60, and then you just keep going around till you find the part, till you find if you only want like a quarter of this, like a quarter circle, that's fine. If you only want that, just go with it. But if you want a whole circle, you just keep going around till it meets back up at the other side, and it will fit perfectly together. It won't be off at all. It'll fit 100% perfect. So let me just finish this up. And then you'll have a perfect circle. And what you want to do, you want to select it all, hit Control T. This will make it a func detail. You do not, under any circumstances, want this to be a normal entity, because that will make a normal brush, because that will make the game run like crap. And if you want to do a cool little color type thing with the texture, go ahead. I'm going to apply my textures really quick. The reason we apply the textures face by face instead of just selecting and applying with the texture application tool is because if you look on the inside, it's all no draw. These faces are unseen, so we want them to not be rendered. It helps with optimization, helps your game run faster. Now the bowl, they're not pitch perfect to each other, but they are perfectly round. And you can do it at any angle. Where we cut to 10, you can cut to 5, and it'll be smoother rounding. But it's all really up to you. So now, if you've seen the turret, here's what the turret actually is. There's a bowl in the center, a ball, I mean, stays in the center, that the turret rotates around. I'll show you how to make that. It's really simple. It's just one brush. So let's go ahead and make that right now. All you want to do is you want to grab your no draw material, your side here, and make a box right on the inside there. And after you have made this box, raise it up a little bit out of your bowl. I want to make it perfectly square, so it's 66 wide, 66 tall, 66, 66, 66. Has to be perfectly round. Grab a nice texture. I'm going to use metal. And if you don't have a texture, the dev material is really nice to use. Just don't let it turn into a dev texture map, because there's too many of those already. So should keep those in check. So then apply your texture to each side. Now for this, you might want to scale it down a little bit. Scale your texture down. So to do that, you just click the texture scale down, put him on to 0.05. Looks kind of nice. So now you select the whole texture and go to your face edit sheet. Go to the displacement tab, hit create. Now leave it at power of 3. Power of 4 is a bit too much. We don't really need that. And power 2 looks kind of shabby. So you do that. Now you have power 3. And this is the whole step to make the ball. The subdivide button, click it. And it made you a perfect ball. So now you just kind of center the ball in your bowl. Lower it or raise it to the area you want. And the thing with displacements is they can't be moved. So once they're in, they're in. You cannot move them from their spot. That's pretty much it for this tutorial. Catch part 2 after it's been made and uploaded. Hope you enjoyed it.